Hi, this is Miss Cindy, and I told you that I would show you a basic acrylic pour. I'm past that now, but my crafts is all about the kids, so they need to know basically what they need to get started. You, as a beginner, needs to know what you get started. They have a whole lot of beautiful work and tutorials done on YouTube to show you the different techniques using this Flowtro, but they don't give you all of the details, and I had to find out the hard way. So I'm just going to show you what I use as a setup. I always have a bowl of water here. That's for cleanup. I have my canvas. And on my canvas, I have it sitting on 2 blocks. And that's only because it needs to be raised for when it starts pouring. I have rubber gloves. I very seldom use them unless I'm doing a really big job. All my paints are mixed. Like I said, I use 1 part paint, 1 part Flowtro. For bigger projects, I may put more Flowtro in it. I have a cup for mixing. I'm going to use a strainer for this demonstration today. You can use a strainer, colander, whatever you want. This is my basic white paint with Flowtro that I'm going to coat the canvas with before I do anything. And then I have a paintbrush you may need. And this is called a dowel, which is for spreading. You can use this, or you can use wooden sticks, just so that you get it coated really good. So let's begin. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white paint and I'm going to put it on this canvas really good. What you want to do is you want to coat this canvas really good, nice and smooth. You don't want to see any of the canvas on the top. None of the pores of the canvas needs to be on the top. So if you need a little extra, you could use a little extra. And it's okay, you're not painting it, you're spreading it. So that's the other key. You're not painting it, doesn't need to be smooth. You just need to spread it so it covers all of the top of the canvas. If you need a little more, you get a little more. And then make sure you just run it along the sides because you want it to drip down the sides evenly. When you use enough Flowtro, it works perfectly. When you don't, then, which is what I learned, the paint stops running and you have a white spot. And you can have a beautiful design and end up with a white spot in the middle of it because the paint didn't move. I'm going to use just a little bit more. Okay. And the reason for my bucket, right here. I'm finished with it. It can go in there. Now I'm going to add my colors. I just picked any colors. I thought I would do the blue family. So, there's 2 ways of putting your paint in your cup. You can just pour it in and mix it, do what you want to do, or you can layer it. I like to layer my paint. So all I'm going to do is take the paint and I'm going to go down the side of the cup. Oops, I got a little piece on there, but it's okay. It's going to be covered. And I just want you to see it layered. When it's layered, it looks like a little rainbow. Once again, you have to judge this. You don't know how much paint you're going to need until you start working with it for the canvas. You want to make sure you have enough paint to cover your canvas. And I think I have enough paint. I don't know if you can see this, but this is actually layered in the cup. So I'm ready to pour. Here's my strainer. I'm going to lay my strainer right in the middle. And then I'm going to start pouring. And as I pour, I'm not pouring fast, I'm pouring slow. And I'm just doing it in a circular motion. You're going to start seeing the paint come out from the bottom of the strainer. If you see you don't have enough, you want your design to doesn't have to get to the edges, because that's where the tilt comes in. But if you want to add a little bit more paint, you can. That's what I do if I don't have enough. By the way, all of the paint that I'm doing today is metallic paint. It's already been mixed, real easy. Okay, so I've got all my paint out of the cup. Once again, my bowl. All of this stuff washes off with soap and warm water. So your gloves, your cup, all your tools, you can wipe down the bottles. It's easy clean. It's just a messy process. Okay, so I still have a little bit of paint in there. I'm not going to lift it up too fast, okay? That goes in the bowl. So this is the messy part. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got this beautiful pattern from the strainer, and you get the same thing from the colander. However, I have got to get this paint down over on the sides and then down the sides. So this is where your tilting comes in. And this is what you have to master, especially if you've got a beautiful design that came from the colander. You don't always want to use it. lose it. So you go back and forth. And see if I can show you how I'm tilting it, and then it starts to drip. Okay. And then I'm going to try to get this side. This was the hardest part for me, because it looked very easy when somebody else was doing it. And it's not as easy as it looks. That's why everything is abstract. Okay, I'm almost there. And you're not seeing me tilt this, but I like it. There you go. Got that corner. I'm going to try to get this corner down here. As long as you get the top of the canvas, you're good. If it drips down the side, it's okay. If you leave some open, it's okay. Because I'm going to show you how you fix that. Okay. So far, that's what I have. So I'm going to stop tilting. Here is my handy bucket that I can wash my hands. And I have paper towels sitting over here. Like I said, it's a messy job. You may wanna use the gloves, but I needed to feel what I'm working on, so I didn't use the gloves. Okay, so as you can see, I have some white. I'm gonna take my paintbrush, and all I'm gonna do is dab it. You're not gonna paint it, you're just gonna dab it. You want any white showing to also drip, because when this dries, it'll all dry together. And this one I did pretty good, because it only needs a couple of spots that has white on it. You're just picking this up off the paper and dabbing it on. Okay. Once again, my handy bucket. Nobody told me about. Okay. Now I use this stick, and this stick is just to go along the bottoms and around, so that when it dries, it doesn't have any drip marks. You may have to do this, every 10 minutes, because this Floetrol is thin and it will take a while to dry. And when I say a while, I mean a while. Don't assume in one day that it's dry. You have to be very careful, because I've also messed up a beautiful one that I've done, because I thought it was dry, and I touched the center, and the center wasn't dry. Okay, so there is the basic acrylic pour. Once it dries, I'm going to put a clear coat on, and I'll show you that too. Okay, here's a close-up of what it looks like. I kept some of the design, but it's not a strong abstract where the paint did what it wanted to do when I first started. On the table, I have another one drying that I did. And then these are the little ones that I wanted to teach on my next class so that the kids could do it. These were real easy. You don't need a lot of paint. And these are on 4x4 frames. And then since I'm showing it to you, here's another one that I've already done. But this is going to be a table. So I'm going to get to work with some wood and some nails and some stain. So I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, so here is day 2 of waiting for this pour to dry. And it's not dry yet. This is the blue one. I can see that it is dry around the sides, but not in the center. It's real shiny. So that's not dry. So this is probably going to take another day to dry. So you see how it pulled off of my blocks. So I'm just going to let that sit there, but I'm going to show you what to do when it does dry. You can use a paper plate or you can use a palette. It doesn't matter. I use the paper plates because I just throw them away. And then I used a Deco Art Duraclear, the high gloss varnish. And I just put a little bit on the paper plate. Okay. My little 4x4 canvases, this one is dry. They're all dry. So, just so you can see, very thin coat. I'm going to go ahead, and this preserves the paint as well as make it nice and shiny. So that's all I'm going to do is put this on real thin. Doesn't have to be heavy. Make sure you don't have any air bubbles. And that finishes up the canvas. Okay, so this canvas is now completely done. I'm going to have to let this dry too. So there's a quick tutorial on doing the acrylic pull. And I'm going to show you a new technique that I'm doing. That'll be the next video where I've learned the basics. And now I'm going to do something different. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.